It was the sweetest of times, and it was the worst of times. The war that no one wanted, but it happened anyway. This is the story of the War of Sweetcession. Historian C.W. Fluffington is famously quoted as saying, quote, "This war, this awful war, all over a difference in color," end quote. The day was June, and the Marshmallow Congress had just convened for its 60th session. The hotly contested issue was the choosing of the national color. The northern marshmallows favored and flavored yellow, while those still in the south held deep onto their system of deep, deep pink. As the debate deepened, violence spilled onto the floor. It was a peeping mess of Congress. Following this issue, a hastily arranged vote was taken, and yellow was chosen despite the boycott of the vote of many angry Southerners. These peeps saw the yellow color as an insult and an assault on their very way of life. They began to see Peepcession as their only viable recourse. On April 15th, the Southern Marshmallow clans seceded and declared themselves the Confederate Marshmallows of the Kitchen. With this declaration, they also claimed all northern property in their lands. Their first act of open rebellion was their dyeing themselves pink in protest of the color yellow. The yellow supporters promptly followed suit with the color yellow of their own. This confrontation soon turned violent, yet not violent, as pink marshmallows bombarded a yellow outpost in what was to become known as the First Battle of Molasses.
We were swept up in a sense of revolutionary fervor. We saw the conflict as a defense of our way of life, and we refused to let the Yellow Devil take that away from us. Maxwell Burchinson, 1st Pink Infantry Division.
The yellow response was both swift and decisive. They quickly activated local militias and instituted a draft. With superior industry and rail transportation, many in the North expected the so-called Pink Rebellion to be squashed in only a few short months. They had no idea the long road that lay ahead.
Dearest mother, how goes life back in the pantry? Things sure are swell here. It's like a road trip. A bunch of bros hanging and camping. I have a feeling this will be the time of my life. P.S. How's Peepette? Has she remained faithful to me? Your son, Duncan McBlarney. They came in at us from all directions. I had no clue where to fire. All around me there were screams of the melting and the caramelized. All night long listening to outgoing and incoming. War comes brutally, and when it happens, you are more scared than you have ever been. You desperately want to leave, to go home, to see friends and walk down the street on a date again. Nicholas Karchovsky, 78th Yellow Cavalry Division.
When the inevitable yellow offensive came, they were able to push the Pinks back and encircle the vast majority of rebel territories. Only the city of Pinksburg held out. There, the rebels had built a sophisticated network of trenches and traps to slow the yellow advance. Conditions soon deteriorated to stalemate. Both sides threw their forces against one another in a terrible symphony of gun and cannon blasts. Though the war would surely end with yellow victory, when the dust settled, no color truly won the War of Peepcession.